If you're in the kitchen with other people, you're gonna set something on fire. You say, je flambe. I'm gonna set something on fire. Basically, you announce it. In culinary school, I can't remember what we were making. We were making a savory dish. One person was like, je flambe, and set it on fire, and nothing happened. It didn't ignite. But then it got really hot, and it ignited like probably 15 seconds later. And there was someone next to the pot, and it did singe off her eyelashes. Hi everyone, I'm Claire Saffitz. Welcome to my home kitchen. Today I have the quickest recipe in what's for dessert to show you. It's my Cherries Jubilee. This is a flambé dish, so we're gonna light it on fire. This is like the perfect thing to entertain guests at a dinner party. It's so much fun to make. So Cherries Jubilee is sort of an example of a category of desserts that are flambéed or like set on fire, basically, on the stovetop. This dish was invented by a very famous French chef named Escoffier, and I believe the story behind this dish is that he created it for Queen Victoria's like Jubilee celebration. Basically, you take fruit, you cook it down, you concentrate all the juices, and you add a little bit of like high-proof alcohol, and you literally set it on fire. It all happens on the stovetop. It's super, super quick. And if you're like having people over, it makes like a fun sort of like after dinner activity. Just make sure that your head's tilted back so you don't burn off your eyebrows. This recipe in a book is called Old Fashioned Cherries Jubilee. Now, the term old fashioned, I'm not saying that like this is an old recipe. I'm actually referring to old fashioned, the cocktail, which has cherries in it. So this sort of incorporates the flavors of an old fashioned. I have bourbon. It's just inspired by that cocktail because obviously this is a dish that includes alcohol. I have a 24-ounce jar of sour cherries in syrup. Normally I'm like always gonna go for fresh fruit or fresh frozen fruit, but I'll talk about why this is really important, and they come pitted. So it really takes care of a lot of the work for you. Cocktail bitters, it's kind of like adding soy sauce to a savory recipe. It's like adds a lot of complexity and kind of an aged flavor. I have an orange, which I'm gonna juice, some demerara sugar, 3 tablespoons of bourbon, vanilla extract, salt just for a pinch, and then for serving, vanilla ice cream. So like really short ingredient list. It comes together so fast. Special equipment. What you'll need is a 10-inch skillet, and I recommend that you use a stick lighter or a long match. So I have actually, these are just like fireplace matches. I'm gonna use this. Fresh cherries, especially like fresh in season ripe cherries, pretty juicy. And the kind of thing that is gonna release a lot of liquid in the pan. The more liquid you have, the less dramatic the flame you're gonna get. I found that using jarred cherries was really effective because they've already sort of been preserved and they're already swimming kind of in the juice. This is not the same thing as maraschino cherries. This is not like the cherries you're gonna put with the stem on your ice cream sundae. So it's in syrup, but it's not really heavily sweetened. And I'm using sour cherries because I just love that tart flavor. So I just wanna let this drain. I have it in a mesh strainer set over a bowl. I need a 1/2 cup of orange juice. Could just use like high quality store-bought orange juice is fine. I love cocktails, but I enjoy it more in like I'm out at a restaurant and I want someone to make one for me, like a really skilled person make one for me. What I'm going for is like a really glossy, kind of thick syrup. So this little juicer has a strainer over it. It catches most of the pulp. The one drink I love is a
Lillet.
Thank you. A Lillet tonic or like a Kir. An old fashioned is a very spirit forward cocktail. I'm more of like a spritz, lighter kind of drink person, but I love the flavors. Cal, what's your favorite? Hold on, let me guess.
Yeah, what is it? Yes.
But you can't just call like, if you like drink whiskey neat, you can't call that a cocktail.
My favorite is a Sazerac.
Uh-huh, that's very Cal. Uh-huh. Harris, what's your favorite cocktail? Oh my God, really? Harris said old fashioned. I've never, ever been with you and you ordered an old fashioned. Tell us your favorite cocktail in the comments. So I finally have a 1/2 cup. I wanna measure out 1 cup of the cherry syrup. So generally you see cherries in light syrup, or I think I might say like thin syrup. This just said syrup, but you can see it's pretty liquid. It's not a heavy syrup, which is gonna be like a really, really sweetened mixture. So I'm gonna measure out 1 cup, and this is gonna kind of form the base of our sauce. I'm gonna grab my skillet. After this, we're over at the stove the whole time. So in my skillet, I'm gonna combine the syrup my orange juice. I have 3 tablespoons of demerara sugar. You could just use granulated, but I like that sort of extra little complexity with demerara sugar. So just 3 tablespoons. I'm not adding a lot of sugar. I'm just gonna add a pinch of salt, just like I always add a pinch of salt. And I'm gonna add a tablespoon of, I'm using Angostura bitters. You could use orange bitters, that would be great. There's a little bit of alcohol in there, but it's basically like an extract of, made from, I think it's tree bark. It is sort of this slightly bitter like flavor enhancer. So I'll add it to pie filling, that kind of thing, especially if I want to temper a little bit of sweetness. And this is like an important ingredient in cocktails, especially in old fashioned. So I'm going to add a full tablespoon. What I have left, vanilla extract, which I'm going to wait to add until the end. My bourbon, 3 tablespoons, that is for flambeing. So I'm going to hold that back for now. And then my cherries. So I'm going to bring everything over to the stove with me, plus my matches. With flambeing, you want to be organized because you don't want to be scrambling at the last minute. So especially when it comes time to do that flambe, like you do not want to be like rummaging around in the junk drawer. So you want everything ready to go. And I have my skillet over medium-high heat. And so the first thing I want to do is just kind of whisk this until the sugar dissolves, which doesn't take very long. And this is going to come up to a boil. If you have a high volume of liquid in your skillet, you are not going to get dramatic flames. Like that alcohol is going to very quickly dilute and disperse, and you are not going to get this dramatic flaming moment. That's just to say that we want to reduce this like crazy. And it's almost going to look like there's nothing left in the skillet. But just know that once you add the cherries, they're going to release a little bit of additional moisture. And in the end, not only do we want lots of flames, but we also want a nice thick syrup that's gonna like coat the ice cream that we're gonna serve it on top of. You really wanna reduce this quite a bit, more than you might even think. Now this is at a boil. You can see that I'm starting to get some of this kind of orangey foam, and I'm gonna skim that. It's not like 100% necessary, but by skimming that, you are going to then at the end have this nice translucent glossy syrup and not something a little bit cloudy. So I have a spoon. I'm just gonna do a little bit of skimming to take that away. In the classic Cherries Jubilee recipe, the kind of original Escoffier version, it uses kirsch, which is a cherry liqueur. You could really use any number of high proof alcohols here. You could use just regular whiskey. You could use Grand Marnier. That's a great one. For successful flambeing, you just want to use something that's 80 proof or higher. If it's less than 80 proof, you're not really going to get a reliable flaming effect. But again, here I'm sort of mimicking the flavors of an old fashioned cocktail, so I'm using bourbon.
Would that burn you if you touched it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, boiling water will burn you, and once you increase the sugar content, it'll get hotter, and then the sugar burn is terrible. Syrup is hot. It's no longer looking liquid. It's looking like I'm cooking a jam or something, and so the sugar is concentrating. It's getting super thick. I'm going to go back with my whisk, just kind of make sure everything is combined. I know that I am reduced enough when I'm getting these big bubbles, and they're kind of like rising out of the skillet. Just know that once you get to this point, there's really no stopping now. So I'm going to add my cherries. And these are, of course, room temp, so this is going to reduce the temperature a little bit. I'm gonna grab a spatula. These are going to release a little bit of juice, so it's gonna thin out that mixture a little bit. And I just wanna get these hot. A key to flambeing is that the skillet has to be hot. You really wanna be at that boiling point. And if you're not, then it's not gonna be able to ignite. I'm gonna get my match ready. Gonna kind of move things out of the way. You should warn people if you have guests not to peer over the skillet. That's not what you want. So you can sort of tilt your head back a little bit. I'm gonna grab one of these matches. Now I'm gonna get this really at a vigorous bubbling. There's just a little bit of liquid in that skillet. When I stir with a spatula, I can see the skillet underneath. So I know I have this really thick reduced mixture. These are gonna be like 2-foot tall flames. You should know that in advance. I'm gonna turn this up to medium high because again, it has to be hot. I have pre-measured my alcohol. You do not wanna pour from the bottle. Don't risk it. And also you wanna be accurate about your measuring. If I put more alcohol, I'm gonna get more flames. So 3 tablespoons, I wouldn't do more, I wouldn't really do less. So I'm gonna light my match, have that ready. Then you wanna do this quickly. So I'm gonna add my alcohol and immediately light it with the match, and then hold my head back. My match just went out, hold on. Hold on. Oh God, is it over reducing? Hold on. Je flambe. So there's my flames, maybe not quite 2 feet high, but that's pretty tall. And I'm gonna sit here and kind of shake until those flames subside. It doesn't take very long. This is looking great. We're basically done. The flames have gone out. I'm gonna take it off the heat. It smells so good. And now this is super hot, so I wanna let it cool down a little bit before I top the ice cream because I don't want the ice cream to melt and I want the juices to thicken a little bit. They'll thicken as they cool down. So I'm gonna now add my vanilla extract, just a teaspoon. And now I'm gonna let this kind of cool off. We're gonna come back over to the countertop. I'm gonna scoop my ice cream and we'll put it all together. Just a couple things to mention. Initially, we reduced the syrup down till it was super thick and almost like dancing across the skillet. Like there was, very little in there. But now from adding both the cherries and the bourbon, it's thinned out a little bit. You can see it's still really hot. It's releasing some steam. But the idea is to end up with an amount of liquid that you can, distribute amongst sort of 6 servings. So I have some vanilla ice cream here. You want to still serve it warm. I suppose there's no reason why you couldn't make the whole thing and then reheat it to serve. But to me, that a little bit defeats the purpose because you want people to see the, setting the part on fire. The cherries have lost a little bit of their volume, but they have remained intact. So you're gonna get a whole bite of cherry. They haven't kind of broken down. You wanna serve it quick enough that you'll get that hot cold contrast. It's just so good. I love sour cherries so much, and this dessert is such a great way to show off their flavor because it's just so complex with the bourbon. It's not overly boozy. We burned off all the alcohol, so what you're really left with is all of the kind of caramelly flavors of the bourbon, which goes so well with the vanilla ice cream, plus the sort of just a hint in the background of the orange and the bitters. It's not too sweet at all. It's so good, truly. It really gives you a kind of summertime feel, but you can make it any time of the year because it's jarred cherries. Just buy a couple jars at a time and you can make it over and over again. It happens entirely on the stovetop, 15 minutes start to finish. It's so good and just fun. In any context in the kitchen, if you have a fire that's not controlled, if you have any kind of grease fire, never, ever, ever put water on it. That is just going to make it grow. You can extinguish the flames by basically suffocating it. So put a lid on top, have a lid nearby is really useful. It's it'll just go out right away. Or if you have something where you don't have a lid, you can't cover it, you can just put a sheet tray on top. Never, ever water. Announce what you're doing. Tell people to kind of tilt their head back. Don't be looking over the skillet. You'll be fine.
Is there something you should yell?
You can yell, je flambe.
Cut!